I trust the unknown future. I believe that life is desirable, it's abundant, it's beautiful. It always provides what I need. Or else? How do you feel when you hear these statements? I trust the unknown future. Life is beautiful, abundant, desirable, and it always provides me what I need. What kind of feelings come up for you when you repeat these sentences, when you really connect to these thoughts? Are they real for you? In what parts of your life are you more like, yeah, that's how it was for me, and in what other parts, like, not really? But more important than that, how do you catch yourself in this lack of trust towards life in different situations? That shows so much about the potentiality of evolution, potentiality of change, positive change that we can create. So I asked myself these questions, obviously, or repeated these sentences for myself, and I was like, what would I do differently if I were truly trusting in life? And one thing that came up for me is discomfort in social situations sometimes. You know, I'm a hypersensitive introvert, and there are many occasions where I'm like, I'd rather be home on my own, or I don't really feel like I fit in here. I don't really think that this conversation is my vibe, or I'm not really, you know, before it was more like, oh, I'm not performing enough for this scene. Now it's not so much that, it's not like, this is not for me. Maybe this is another mask, but ultimately it's an attitude of not trusting that life at any moment can come up with surprises. Surprises as simple as a super nice, sweet conversation with a person, a moment of connection with another person, or a moment of enjoying the nature of the environment, or a good joke, or an inspiring conversation, whatever that might be. But life provides surprises constantly, and when we are in this untrusting place, then there's a lot of tendency to retreat instead of stepping into life. And I found it in myself that I'm doing it more and more. Sometimes I do it to take care of myself for caving time, but most of the times I realized it's an untrusting attitude towards life. Another example that I could come up with is if I were trusting in life, I would feel more free in spending for my evolution. I would feel more free in my finances, in investing into myself. And when I realized that, that created a major shift for me. And here I'm not talking about, you know, just luxury, comfort, self-care, and so on. I'm talking about investing in improvement, because I have a good scholar background. You know, I studied in good colleges, I have a good training and so on, but those were more like, okay, this is how it should be. Then I entered the spiritual realms and I did lots of retreats, I received lots of trainings and so on, but in a way, they were also a curriculum. And afterwards, it was like, okay, I have all of these amazing skill sets now. I know a lot, I have experienced a lot. I'm a student for lifelong, but still, you know, I have a lot to share. And then I trusted so much on that skill set. I let go of investing on the support that I needed to really make the best out of this. So when I realized that contraction, of course I had the possibility to allow good investments to happen. And sometimes they were really daring investments. Sometimes I was like, oh my God, I'm going to spend half of my savings into this. But a part of me knew, you know, okay, it's time for this. You need to trust. It's time to trust. And now I'm investing freely in the support that I need, whether it's the support that I need for my inner work or the support that I need to make the best out of my business. I invest in really, really good quality people whom I love, whom I care for, who care for me, in both guiding me and in helping me. And that was a big step of trust for me. Then the next example that I had from my life is really having a trusting attitude in general towards every moment of contraction. You know, when we are in this evolutionary path, there are so many things that we want to fix. And we create lots of great new habits. But I reached a spot where all of those habits were becoming, good habits were becoming new limitations by themselves. So it's like, oh, I shouldn't drink more than 1 cup of tea because that's not good for my health. Which is true at the beginning stages of your purification, but ultimately it becomes an untrusting attitude towards life. This is a very important topic that has lots of other subliminal messages inside. So I'm going to have another conversation on this specifically. So the third chapter, the third example that I opened in this conversation will come with successive discussions.